Welcome back to Clean Hit Podcast, episode 3. You got Ozzy, you got Jay here.
We're back.
It's going to be an action-packed episode. It's going to be longer than usual, so...
Big episode here.
Let's get started.
Well, a lot of content to go over here.
Tons of content.
Yeah.
So make sure to catch us on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. What else? Their Anchor.
At Clean Hit Podcast.
Follow us on our social media accounts, Instagram and Twitter. We're pretty active on Twitter, and Instagram.
And make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yep.
And turn on notifications.
Post
and
notifications.
And click the like button.
Like,
all
share, and
that-
subscribe.
All that good stuff. So let's get right into it.
Let's do it.
So we made some bold predictions
Yeah.
for the buy-in round. And
we'll just talk about the matchups and we'll talk about our predictions as well as we go.
yeah.
Based off what happened. So we'll start with the Eastern Conference. You want to get
Yes,
Pittsburgh,
just
Pittsburgh and Montreal?
Real quick, overall, we all did very bad in predicting this.
It's like a common thing now in the NHL where
Yeah, it's
you
like-
can't really predict who's gonna win now.
Yeah.
In the past 3-4 years, it seems like.
Insane.
And to be honest, I don't even-
Injuries.
if we're really looking big picture, I don't think that's good for the sport. When
Do you actually think so?
let's when a 23 seed and a 24 seed make into the playoffs, how can people look at the
Yeah, but
NHL
that-
and take it seriously?
That
bros, for
23
real?
seed, like the only thing I think people really took offense to is the draft. Like Detroit had 39 points, and the winners of the draft lottery, the Rangers, had 70 some points,
That's
and they won the first overall. Right, like that shouldn't happen. Obviously, we're in unprecedented times, but
Yeah.
stuff like that shouldn't happen.
that's
right?
another. We'll talk about that later on. But I'm saying
just I'm mad my team lost, right? And I'm looking
Mhm.
at it from a
your
different
team?
perspective.
yeah.
Who's my team?
The Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah, the Winnipeg Jets. But if you look at what the NBA did, everybody just came back to finish the season to play 8 games. and
Some of
then-
them, yeah, some of them.
No, yeah, and then they just go by standings. If you're in the playoffs, you're in the playoffs. This if you really look at it, this qualifying round thing, really unnecessary and really
They should have got the
put a lot of
teams-
pressure on some teams,
Yeah.
and it's just unfavorable matchups. Even though the teams were if one team is better than the other team would have beat them just because of the matchup lined
Like it
up.
should
And
have
I
been
don't think it
like
should have been like that.
a Nashville Chicago series or something like that. Like where they could have added another instead of having for example the people that were going to make the playoffs anyway, like Colorado or who's in the qualifying, Vancouver,
yeah.
for example. Vancouver and Oilers should have just played their own series that would have guaranteed them playoffs. But kind of like Boston, Tampa, Washington played in Philly, like they played the East.
Right.
They kind of should have just added
The
another.
way I see it though is I think you should have just kept everything the same. Bring in those same teams,
Yeah.
and then everybody just plays each other. Like everyone plays 6 games maybe or 5 games.
Agreed.
5. We'll go 5 games because that's
Yeah.
what the qualifying round thing is how they wanted it.
And then you go off your points. I
And
think
then
that
you
makes
just go
sense.
off
to me.
the season standings. Like it's so unnecessary for a 20. Montreal was 24 seed,
Yeah.
They had
and-
0%
and
chance.
they knocked out Pittsburgh, who's 7th seed in the league.
You don't think that's exciting though? Kind of.
It's not really exciting because people don't get to see Crosby Malkin.
I get that, but I don't know. I like
I'm being
I like-
pessimistic about it, but it's kind of true.
That is true.
Here's the thing. I'm an optician. I'm not a pessimist.
Optician,
Optician?
you're an optimist.
Optimistic.
It's a
No.
joking. It's a joking.
It's
It's a
joking.
It's a joking.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
I haven't done this in a while.
Continue.
No, I think it's cool to have underdog
Okay, but,
stories
like,
of miracle runs.
I
Here's the thing.
I hate underdog stories.
You don't like that?
I don't like underdog.
like
It's,
when
it's,
it's-
in sports, I don't. In sports, but
No,
movies,
in
okay.
sports you got to, man.
Bro, the most
I think it
annoying-
depends on the sport. Like
Okay, yeah,
football,
No, you're right. But in the NHL, it seems like it's been happening 4 or 5 years in a
like
row.
in the
now.
NBA, it never happens. It barely happens in the NBA.
But I don't like the NBA for that though. I don't
Why?
like how it's the same 3 teams every year.
But like mine is Golden State. Like that one year, LeBron went to Miami, the Dallas Mavericks upset. But then I know what you mean. It's usually like the best team that it's usually the best team in the regular season wins the title, right? Not necessarily in hockey. Like I remember the last 1 seed or the President's Trophy winner that won.
Chicago in 2015. That was the last time
That
it
was
happened.
yeah. So, but it should happen more often in hockey. Where like look at the Tampa Bay Lightning, man. Like how do you not win the cup with that squad?
Like last year, yeah.
That's the thing. But I like that though. I like that about the unpredictability.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I get that too, but it happens too often in the NHL. And if you really look at it now, a big picture, like these players were 170, 180 days
Yeah.
from last playing, and then they have to come in to play against the same team.
I think
Yeah.
One team in order to determine if they make the playoffs or not. I think that's a little bit
I
ridiculous.
think that the sport of hockey shows that like it depends on your team's identity, right? So like the Blue Jackets, for example, they're all about grit and heart, where the Lightning are pure talent. Like you have
Pure skill,
you
yeah.
have probably the number 1 defenseman in the league. You have 2 of the best goal scorers in the league, and then you have Point and Gord and
Crazy
and
goalie.
all
too,
those
like-
guys Vasilevsky to support you, and then you have an amazing coach, and then you have a team like I mentioned, Columbus or even Vancouver. They're young, right? They don't really they're talented. They have young talent, but yeah, it's It's interesting, like the way it worked out and the upsets that happen in each conference.
There was an upset almost every single
Too
series.
many upsets.
Too many
Too many
upsets.
upsets. I don't think it's good for the game. I think people are. I don't want to say it's not good for the
Yeah.
game, but I think it's
Well, let's
it doesn't bring in more fans. But we'll
Let's
segue
deep
into
dive.
the first matchup there, Montreal and Pittsburgh, talking
Montreal
about
and
these
Pittsburgh,
upsets.
Jay, you want to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Blew my expectations out of the water. Like Montreal, you saw them this year.
Everybody.
They lost to Detroit the season series. What, they got swept by
They
Detroit?
got swept by Detroit. They didn't win a
Detroit
game.
was
That's what I'm saying,
literally
like the Montreal is such an inconsistent team this year, and they're like 24th in the league.
yeah.
They get in just because they were they got Pittsburgh got out coached and their goalie played better than theirs. They beat Pittsburgh,
you know-
who's a perennial playoff team.
You know
what
what's
I
so
mean?
crazy? They were talking about it when they were discussing this whole like format and stuff like that. There were two teams that they didn't want: the Blackhawks for Kane and Taze because of the experience, and the Montreal Canadiens because the Montreal Canadiens were the worst team to make the qualifying rounds by far, right?
Yeah, by far.
So they were scared of Carey Price because they were like, "Okay, they want to do a 3-game series."
Yeah.
So then they're like, "No, we don't want to like have a bad 3 or 4 game series. Like we don't want to have 2 bad games and then there goes
You're
our
done, yeah.
there goes our season. Let's do it to 5." So they did 5, right? But then again, like you ran into a hog goaltender, you ran into defensemen that shut down your top 2 players.
Shea Weber played out of his mind.
Out of
Yeah.
for him and Petrie and Suzuki and
like
Kotkaniemi.
all the credit to them, but like
and Claude Julien coached really, really well.
it just seemed unnecessary for this whole
It
qualifying
should've,
round.
yeah.
They should have just played within each other. They should just played their own division and then
Yeah.
determined seeding from there.
I
guess it
agree
is
with you
the-
on that, but I'm saying like just as it stands, it was just a crazy series.
Fun to watch.
It was
but,
very fun to watch.
like disappointing. You don't
The
see
issue with
these
that
stars.
is that like teams can't complain now, right? Like
it's over. It's
you
like
had the
you all
edge.
agreed.
yeah.
like you're reversing a 23rd seed. You shouldn't be like you shouldn't lose. But then again, like that's hockey, right? Like you ran into a hot goaltender. It is what it is.
I remember in the first episode, I was saying like, "Oh, this is such a good idea. It makes so much sense."
Yeah.
But
That's the only
looking
way.
at it now, like 6 out of 8 upsets or something like that. Upsets.
Insane.
It's just.
There was like one
I don't know,
like
it's too
like,
much.
like Florida Islanders that could have went anyway. Really, that wasn't really an upset.
There's
I
a
think
few,
no, I
like,
think the
yeah.
Islanders were favorites, but like
Islanders
still.
are defensively.
No, but I think like okay, there's a few matchups that make sense. Like,
Vancouver,
they make
Minnesota
sense.
made sense.
Yeah, I mean, like the Arizona, Nashville made sense. You know what I
Calgary,
mean?
Winnipeg made sense.
Yeah, like those make sense, right? But like the Oilers in Chicago and Montreal and
Pittsburgh.
like
Doesn't make sense.
you're just setting up those 2 higher seeding teams for failure, right? Because
Even Carolina and
you
New
know what I mean?
York.
No, you're right. Because then the pressure's on them now.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
They're
Prove everybody
underdogs.
wrong.
Like Chicago didn't really like. If they win, they win. Sure,
Yeah.
but if they lose, whatever.
Chicago, Montreal,
is
nothing
what it
to
is.
lose, and
Mhm.
they played great, and they beat
Look at
those
the
teams.
Rangers. Even the Rangers versus Carolina. Carolina had insane pressure on them.
Yeah.
Like the Rangers had Panarin and Zibanejad. They got shut down. But if they they lost, right? Whatever. Like I'm sure Rangers fans are very
Mm-hmm.
enthusiastic about their sports teams, but they lost. It is what it is. They weren't gonna make playoffs anyway. But like they got first overall out of it. So
Yeah, like they're the only winners, really. The Rangers.
They are
right?
the only
Well,
winners.
my thing is, okay, if I'm a player on the Oilers or Pittsburgh, you know, you have a good
Toronto
season.
as well.
Toronto as well, exactly, right?
Toronto
You have a
as well.
great season. You know what I mean? Only to be showed up in a best of 5 series
That's
where
what I'm
really
saying.
anybody, like that's where I get that. You know what I mean? But
you know what's so funny? That Hopkins and Connor McDavid till this time still lead the playoffs in points. They're 1 and 2.
And they're not in the
They're not
playoffs
in the
because of how the NHL wanted the teams to come in.
And it's
also
it's
like
upsetting.
there's onus on the teams as well.
Yeah, I'm not
You know
saying
what I
like,
mean?
oh, just because they lost, like, oh, you should get another chance. No, like,
No,
you
you
lost
lost,
fair and
yeah.
square. I'm just
Yeah.
saying it was kind of like, it seems kind of unnecessary looking at it now to
Mhm.
do qualifying rounds when you can just play within each other's division
Yeah,
and then just go by season standings. Because like, even if like Boston, they were first by a mile,
Yeah.
right? They lost 3 games, only 3 games in the reseeding,
Mhm.
and then they had to drop back down, and they played Carolina. They have to play
Carolina.
Carolina.
Yeah.
It was one of the hotter teams coming out of the like
Yeah.
qualifying.
And they
Even
won-
they got kind of like messed over a little bit because of this whole qualifying
Yeah.
round thing.
So yeah, that's
so that was like
Carolina,
honestly the Canadian series.
It is what it is. Montreal won.
they
and
won.
then
They won fair and
If
square.
Montreal doesn't go,
you brought up
really-
Carolina, they sweeped New York. I think that was
That was a surprise because I thought New York would have at least got 1 game. I had that series going 5, but I think they ran into a hot goalie, and
No, I think-
the
no,
New York
it's-
Rangers defense was Swiss cheese, as you say.
the defense was horrible. As you said,
Literally
Donaire sauce.
Donaire sauce.
Yeah, it was Donaire sauce.
It was like Tony DeAngelo. Like, what are you doing, man?
I
Like,
think Carolina was just miles ahead of New York from the start.
Carolina is
better
Svech and
forwards,
Aho
better
took that
defense.
series over. Svech and Aho, and without Dougie Hamilton. They swept him without
What
Dougie
did
Hamilton.
Panarin do that?
Nothing. He had 1 goal.
Nothing.
I think he had 1
they
power
really
play goal.
relied on him, and then they played Lundqvist too, which is kind of suspect.
That's what messed him up the first game, to be honest. But then
Yeah.
again, Georgiev was unfit to play.
But my thing is,
Shesterkin was there.
yeah, Strickland was
Yeah.
there, and also too like, I think it's just time. It's over.
He has
Right?
1 year left at 8.5 million. I think
Yeah, it's
the Rangers will either trade him, buy him out, because Rangers have like a history of buying out players, like
Yeah.
monster deals and buying him
I
out.
think
but
they straight up. I think they trade Georgiev for like a haul.
I
like
think
a
they'll
first
keep
round
Georgiev,
pick
though.
and no, I think they keep Shesterkin and then they
But
do
you need-
Lundqvist as backup next year and then they
Mhm.
just find a backup for Shesterkin.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
yeah, you never know. Because
Because I don't trade Shesterkin over Georgiev.
No,
I'd trade
I
Georgiev.
agree with you.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah,
they'll
that's,
get a lot for that goalie though.
They
that's a
would.
good series.
But like I said, the Carolina, I think they were just the favorites.
Not too shocked. Not too shocked.
Yeah, neither am I. I thought the Rangers would put up a fight.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, with Zibanejad and Panarin, but what are you gonna do, right? Next one, Florida and the Islanders.
Yeah,
Not
Islanders
surprised.
just a lot of people said the Islanders would win. I wanted Florida to win. I
Yeah, me
even
too.
said
I thought
Florida
Florida-
was probably gonna do a deep run, but
Yeah.
Quenneville got outcoached heavy that series. Like his defense, like Barkov, Hubert, like Mike Hoffman was the best player, but in that series, I think like never mind, the Islanders won, but Mike Hoffman was the best player in that series, even though they lost. Mike Hoffman was potting goals from the right side of the ice like nothing.
Yeah.
The thing is, like Barry Trotz is smart though. Like they covered Huberto and Barkov like crazy. Kept Hoffman open, but then again, you can afford those goals. And on top of it, your goalie Bobrovsky let in a few. Like he saved, but like his contract's not looking too good right now. At
Bobrovsky,
11 million?
I think if he doesn't turn
no,
around,
he'll bounce back. It's just he's
It's-
so good not to. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just
I
one
don't know
bad
what it
year.
is.
No, because remember last year Hellebuck.
Mhm.
NHL. It's just weird in the NHL. These players like some they'll have a bad year and then they'll bounce back pretty hard. So
Florida, I don't know
I
what
think he'll
Florida
bounce
needs
back.
though. I like literally, I think Florida has all the pieces. Like they got Eric Hall on the trade deadline. They
Mhm.
have Barkov. They have Huberto. Huberto played better than Barkov this year too, right? So, like, what do you do? Like, do you need like
you
you know
need fans. That's what they need.
they do need fans.
they need I think shut down defensemen. But like even like that, like the fate of that series cost Dale Talon his job.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I
they fired
mean?
him.
Like you're playing against New York Islanders, one of the better defensive teams in the league, and you know your team got outmatched. You get fired for it because of this whole qualifying.
It is what it is.
round
That's
thing
how
for
that's,
it.
how that's how the business side of it works.
Islanders, like, no offense to Islanders fans.
So
It's
boring.
so boring to watch.
I didn't watch a single game.
I was
That's how
watching the
Barry
Washington
Trotz- Even
game
when
today.
Washington won the cup, like under Barry Trotz, it wasn't anything
No,
crazy.
they were fun to watch. Come on,
They were
man.
fun to watch because of the talent on their team,
Yeah.
right? But Barry Trotz, if you looked at it, he had Ovi going and like back checking.
Oh yeah, like, but that's how
what I'm
that's where he plays, right? But I'm
Yeah.
saying like the Islanders though. Just I was watching the Washington game today with the Islanders,
Yeah.
and it was just like
Very uninteresting.
But
there's
then
a few
again, like,
fights, but like
Honestly, when honestly is like your second best player, then like, you know.
but like they're playing.
credit to them.
Yeah.
They're like very good defensive team. But
Can you
it's just not
imagine?
fun to
Can you
watch.
imagine Columbus versus the Islanders next round?
Oh man,
Can you imagine just
I
like
don't want to.
that would be
0-0
0
games.
0 0 like 5 overtimes.
7 overtimes.
Crazy.
what? That's foreshadowing for next.
Yeah.
Okay, Rishi, this is your favorite series. Toronto versus Columbus.
You guys
The,
wanna- you guys
I
wanna
know
get
me.
in?
Me and him picked Toronto.
You
You
guys
picked Columbus though.
I don't remember honestly, but I said Toronto would give them a hell of a fight.
You
I
said
mean, I
Columbus.
said Columbus would give a hell of a
Right, you
fight,
did,
and
you
I was right, and they won.
Good
So
for them.
I want to
Good
go
for
on a
Columbus.
rant. I want to go on a little rant here.
Go on,
okay?
man. Go on, let's
Columbus
see.
is like more fun New York Islanders.
Yeah, they are.
So-
So having that heart and soul.
The
like-
Toronto Maple Leafs and Bilal Kadri, you guys embarrassed me. I literally put my pride aside and was defending Toronto Maple Leafs, which
you were. Yeah, it was gross.
which aches my heart. But it is what it is. The media already defends them enough. But anyways, you guys had Matthews, Marner, Nylander, and Morgan Riley.
John Tavares as well.
John Tavares.
And
Who is
Freddie-
that?
Freddie
Who is he?
Anderson.
Let's not forget about Cody.
Who's John
Ceci.
Tavares?
And Cody Ceci.
Cody Ceci.
Cody Ceci.
The defensive prodigy.
Jake Muzzin almost like he got injured is what
Yeah,
it is.
that
But
was-
that
that was
shouldn't
actually
be
scary.
that shouldn't be a turning point of the series. Like he's not that like he's a good player, but like you still have like your offensive. But let me give credit where credit's due. Columbus Blue Jackets shut them down. Like like even the fourth game where they came back 3-0,
Uh-huh.
like they shut them down. Like yeah, they had a breakdown towards the end, but the only time, and if you look at it, they shut down Austin Matthews so good that the only time he got a goal was that overtime where John Tavares passed him and there was no one covering him.
Yeah.
Like these shut down, they didn't have to shut down Tavares because the guy couldn't even hit an empty net.
Yeah.
Nylander was doing what he was doing. Marner was like he had one good game, I think. I felt bad for Freddie Anderson. He was facing a crazy amount of shots. Seth Jones and Zach Werenski are absolute machines.
They're like.
And John Tortorella is simply outcoached Sheldon Keefe, which I to
we
my
said-
defense,
we
to
said
our
he
defense,
would. We said
which
he would. Yeah,
he
we
would,
said he
right?
would.
And that's what it is. It is what it is. But then again, like your defense, like Leaf fans, is subpar. Like don't say like you know what's so crazy? I saw an article yesterday. Oh, the Leafs got eliminated, but they're gonna make one hell of a run for the cup. I'm like, what are you guys saying? Like this is the fourth year in a row you get bounced. You know what I'm saying? Like I defended you guys, but like, what is there to defend anymore? Like you guys have a top three, in my opinion, a top 3 goal scorer in Austin Matthews. You have one of the best two-way centers in the league in John Tavares. You have Mitch Marner, Mr. 10-point whatever himself. And then you have a role player in William Nylander who scored 30 goals for you guys. Frederick Anderson's a top 5 goalie, top 6 goalie in this league. You guys have a decent coach. I don't know if it's you guys' culture, your chemistry, whatever it is, but you guys need something up there.
Cody Ceci was really bad. He was.
He is, but, like,
and
man.
Marincin was bad, and the Hall guy was bad.
Justin Hall.
Even Barry was bad too.
Barry was
bad.
what a swing and a miss on that trade, hey?
Yeah.
No, I think
they,
don't know.
they needed to do that on paper. It looked
What do you
really
mean you
good.
don't know? Colorado cashed out, man.
I still like that trade for Toronto.
Well,
I
you're
don't know.
crazy.
But
They're
no,
losing Tyson Berry.
I
They
know,
lost.
he was so bad for them this
He
year,
was really
but
bad.
I
I
still
think
like
he
Tyson
had an
Berry.
off year. I think
I would have
Barry-
traded William Nylander for Tyson Berry because I would have dumped
Wow.
his 6.98 million. Like, you gotta remember, okay, Kyle Dubas came out and said, yeah, like, everyone thinks that the Leafs aren't, but like, you guys are gonna have like $4.8 million in cap space next year, like, which I understand Toronto's a very
demanding market.
they want a demanding market, and players do want to go there. Like, if it's Canadian city,
Yeah, for sure.
it's either like Toronto or Vancouver.
I
'cause
think they should have kept Nikita Zaitsev. He was the key
he wanted out though.
That's-
He wanted out though.
That
He went to Ottawa.
over Cody Ceci.
But like, come
No
on,
way,
man. Like, you guys can't keep doing this. Like, I understand. Like, if you got bounced out by Tampa, Boston, even Florida or someone, like even the Islanders, but like, it goes to show, like, once again, like these like, they're not big names, but to us,
Yeah.
like Pierre-Luc Dubois, Bjorkstad, even Seth Jones, Zach Werenski, those guys aren't nominated for any awards ever. Even Korpisalo stood on his head. Merzlikins stood on his head. Like,
I know,
Bro,
like,
like-
the coach of the award they don't look at playoffs, but like
Torts, man,
wow,
man, oh,
Tortorella,
man.
he really with his compared to the two teams,
Yeah.
he really outcoached
Like, if you look
Toronto.
at Vigneault, man, even in the qualifying rounds,
Yeah, good
3-0.
yeah, good for him.
Bro, honestly, like Columbus, they're like annoying. If you see their players, the way they do man coverage,
Who's it?
like
Boone
I
Jenner?
would hate to play against them because you can't move. They suffocate the neutral zone. What do you do? Like, what do you do? You're like a high scoring team. What do you do? How do you get past
They
it?
suffocate the neutral
They
zone.
do. They suffocate it. They stop every play coming in. Like,
You're
it's
right, you're right,
nuts.
though.
But
You know
man,
what I
the Toronto Maple Leafs was such, like, it was so, because like, don't get me wrong, like, as a hockey fan, you want to see a team of that talent go up, but like, when you have your first line insane, your second line's better than most second lines in the league.
Yeah.
Your third line is, and your fourth line just who.
Okay, so, like,
actually no, like, you have, like, the thing is with them is that they never had set lines. Like, they had Tavares with Makayev and Nylander, and then they had Marner, Matthews, and Hyman. Like, that shouldn't happen. If you guys want to win, it's a 5-game series. If you guys don't want to win, put all three put literally Tavares, Marner, Matthews on one line. Just like the Oilers made a mistake of Dave Tippett. What are you doing putting the best line in hockey in the second half of the
No,
season
no.
with 2 minutes left?
Don't separate.
Like, what are you doing?
Don't start there yet. We'll get to that. We'll get to
You
that
know
part
what I'm
later.
saying? But yeah, anyways, Toronto Maple Leafs.
Like,
Shout out to Columbus.
I saw it. I kind of saw it happening, honestly.
But still, man, like,
Panarin, Duchesne, and Bobrovsky are not in the playoffs anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
The rest
Columbus
of
is.
Columbus is.
That just shows you like how well coached they are. Like all the players buy into that system.
and you know what's so
Yeah,
crazy? To Ozzy's point about Tortorella being like one of the greater coaches in the league. Like, you look at Game 4 and Brookside, or Game 3 or Game 4, Brookside or Pierre-Luc Dubois absolutely got an earful from Torts on the bench.
Yeah,
Came back and scored a hat trick the next game.
Yeah.
nuts.
That was Game 4 actually. They came back or Game 3 they came back and won an OT.
Yeah. Well, that finishes up the East now.
Pierre-Luc Dubois is the owner of the Toronto Maple Leafs, by the way. I just want to put that out there.
Man, I wish they drafted Puljujärvi.
Another upset, Columbus over.
Could you
Toronto.
imagine?
Is that good for the league?
It is. I think because Tortorella
I
is
think
the
it-
coach and he's such like a if you want to watch his post game conferences.
Here's the thing. It's funny.
That's funny. Like yesterday,
It's
like yesterday when they lost, when Korpisalo, by the way, shout out to him, 85 saves when they lost, and Hedman literally mauled Cam Atkinson on the break when there
Yeah.
was no call, and
Yeah,
literally
that's
John Tortorella came on the podium. He's like, "Don't ask me about the non-call." Right off the bat, like, you know, so like,
He's a good personality.
yeah,
But
good for the
so
league.
now we got the West. We're gonna start off with the Winnipeg Jets losing to the Calgary Flames.
The Winnipeg Jets in what 4 games?
Yep.
3-1.
3-1.
I feel so bad for Winnipeg
too.
Jets fans. I just feel like they had an unfair chance, all year. First out, they lose 2 of their best defensemen, right?
Yep.
At the beginning of the year, Trouba and Bufflin. Then they have an insane, such a resilient year.
Yeah.
Hellebuck standing on his head. All that. And
Coached by
then
Paul Maurice.
come through with COVID, and then this qualifier and they play against Calgary. Everybody's ready to go. What, game 1? Oh,
Game
game
one.
1.
Period 1.
Kachuk with that nasty hit on Scheifele.
Mm-hmm.
Totally did it on purpose. Like, such a dirty player. Needs to take. He's got to get in trouble soon here.
He won't.
Scheifele's out for months, I think.
But he
And
literally
then-
went for his Achilles.
And then like
feel
they were just roughing up Line or something, and he got hurt too. So they lose two of their best forwards in game one, you know, and then they just
And then they won game 2. Shows you their resilience.
yeah, and the one game too. But like, what are you gonna do when you just you don't have a chance? They didn't give him a chance at all.
And
So Calgary beats them.
back to that Kachuk hit.
Yeah,
People are saying like, oh, unintentional. This is my.
I think Shifley came out and said I don't think he did it on purpose.
see,
But
Paul Maurice-
Shifley, that's kind of
Such a
clear.
good guy.
Shifley is.
He's
Such a good
class.
guy.
I mean,
He's
pure
class.
class. Why doesn't he win that Masterson Trophy instead of freaking Austin Matthews?
Hey,
But whatever.
Hey. I'm talking about-
All I'm
Actually,
saying,
actually,
all
no.
I'm saying is,
Yeah,
I've
why
never,
is Austin Matthews on there? I'm not cheering for Leafs anymore. Why is
Oh,
Austin
okay.
Matthews?
You tell me, Fish. So all I'm saying is, have you ever seen an NHL player stop themselves by planting their foot on the boards like this? I've never in my life seen that.
You know what that
before.
reminds me of? Remember way back, like in 2013, 2014, whatever, when Carlson was like just
And
coming out.
John
Yeah.
Carlson.
Remember in the corner,
Was it?
like same exact kind of hit.
What was his name?
I don't
Downey, Steve Downey. Was that
No,
him?
Something I don't know his name, but like same kind of hit where
Eric Carlson or
like,
John
some guy
Carlson?
Carlson.
comes, the guy Eric Carlson. Some guy comes to hit him in the corner of the rink, and the guy's skate was up, and
Yeah.
it hits him like right in the Achilles, and his season was done just like that.
Yeah.
Here,
So
put it this way: like, remember you guys when Hall was with the Edmonton Oilers and he slipped and his the blade caught his eye. Remember that?
yeah.
Like, imagine that on your muscles.
No,
Like,
I get that
it's gonna
part.
get
But what I'm
ripped through
saying
it.
is like people are saying, oh, it wasn't, wasn't
I don't know,
intentional.
what are you doing? Like, you're not playing soccer. Like,
No,
what
but
are you
my
doing?
thing is like I have never like I'm not saying intention, whatever. I'm just saying it's weird. I've never seen a player stop themselves by putting their foot up against the board. I've never seen that before in my life,
I've never seen it's weird to see a player stop with one skate. Like, what do
buddy.
you-
Like I've
Listen, so what are you defending, Kachuk?
no, like it's weird. Like, 'cause the thing with Kachuk is like you don't know. Like, there's people say it's intentional, people say it's unintentional. But the thing is like it was such an unorthodox play. Like the play wasn't like
It
if
was
for-
weird. It
let's
was
put it this
weird.
way: if Kachuk stopped with both legs and slid in to the skate blade and broke his ankle or whatever, he literally lifted his foot
Yeah.
and going towards the back of his leg.
Like-
What are you doing that?
Maybe if it's like a player without a history,
yeah.
then it's unintentional. Then people can say it's unintentional. But like this guy is just known for being stupid all the time. You know, like he's what 21, 22 or whatever.
Good hockey
that's-
player,
That's
good
my
hockey
thing.
player.
Good
He's a
hockey
great-
player,
I would
but,
love to have him
like-
on the Oilers,
Yeah.
but
Could have had him.
No,
Or not
straight
on
up.
the
No,
Oilers.
I wouldn't even.
Come
I
on,
just
man.
don't like him that
We have
much. Bro. He's
Cassian.
such a dirty player.
we have Cassian.
He's funny though.
Yeah, that's funny. That is pretty
Cassian
funny.
doesn't go out and like injure people with their
I mean,
skates.
he kicked somebody.
Like,
in
oh,
the
fuck.
yeah, he
chest
did.
with his kick. By the way, we don't cheer for the Oilers.
Yeah, we don't cheer for those. Cassian's bad too, but like he's funny bad. Kachuk's just like stupid bad.
But I'd rather have Kachuk. He's good. Like he
can play, yeah.
score 30 goals.
Anyway, so
Okay,
Winnipeg had like all years so much bad luck. I would say.
I actually wanted them to get first overall.
Me too. I wanted them
Yeah.
really bad to get first overall, but we'll see. I still believe the management there is still very good. I think they
Yeah.
bounce back next year, hopefully.
Sheffield,
But just
yeah.
this whole year has just been really unlucky for them, and I don't even count this as a loss for them.
Take it on the chin. Take it on the chin, really,
Mhm.
and then move on. So now Vancouver and Minnesota.
I like from the
Absolute
start,
toss up, but I think
Nah.
Vancouver was deeper.
Yeah,
So
like
that's why
they
won.
had like at the end of the day, your difference maker, Markstrom played very good.
Mm-hmm.
Quinn Hughes out of his mind.
Man, Vancouver's
Ah.
a scary team.
Pedersen, Besser, Bo Horvat, JT Miller out of nowhere this year, man. Like,
That contract will still butt them in the ass. And I'll tell you
It's
that
fun to
much.
be a Vancouver fan right
it's
now.
fun
for
to
Yeah.
be
sure.
because you gotta remember
Got a lot-
Vancouver's a
lot
city
of
that
stuff
people
going
want to
on.
go to, right?
Yeah.
Like they're gonna get a marquee free agent to play alongside Pedersen.
Here's what I'm saying to you now is
Oh, and Tyler Toffoli too.
back
man.
in the day, I hated the Canucks, especially as if I wasn't a Oilers fan. Hated the Canucks. I don't hate them anymore. Like they have a good,
'Cause, like,
nice team. They have a good team.
Kevin
Bro, like
Bieksa.
Elias Pettersson, like what a unique player.
Yeah.
For them, like
So
he's
good.
such a good player.
He's literally like
like,
127
humble.
pounds.
Draisaitl, literally.
I don't want to
That's what
like.
he is.
I don't want to
127
take
pound
any.
Draisaitl.
I don't want to take anything
Yeah.
away from Horvat. Like I guess he's a good captain, good leadership, whatever. But like Pettersson is, I think, better captain material.
Okay, Pedersen's insane. Like
Yeah.
he's nuts.
I think Horvat because he's been there.
Even
longest out
Horvat
of
too.
the
Horvat's
four.
like all around good guy. Like
Yeah.
whatever.
Even
like,
Besser. I still think Besser's the second best player on that team.
You know what I found weird? The GM coming out and saying that he would trade Buck Besser.
He didn't say that. Though he came out and he denied those.
Oh,
I
he
think was-
denied it? Was
Yeah.
that, are you sure? Was
Yeah,
it
he
denied?
came out because there was this reporter. So this reporter that came out with the Besser allegation saying that Besser's gonna be traded, which is like a weird time anyway. Like if they're in the
like
bubble
during the play on round. Yeah.
So that same reporter came out and said that Elias Pettersson's gonna stay in Sweden for the year. Like,
Oh, okay. So just a
like it's just like
donkey.
yeah,
Just donkey
like Steve
reporting.
Simmons kind of thing. You know what I'm
But
saying?
honestly, the highlight of that series for me though was Kevin Fiala.
Yeah,
Wow.
he continues to show that
He
he
was
is the
wow.
real
just
deal.
awesome,
Remember when
man.
they traded
For
traded
Granlund?
Granlund for Fiala, and we
Yeah.
were like, what is Minnesota
Because
doing?
Granlund was like 30 goal scorer in the
Yeah,
night.
and then he got fired for that. The GM got fired
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
end of that year, and like looks like he was right. Like Fiala's the real deal. Good for him.
Fiala's good for him, honestly. I love watching him.
He's a fun
Great player. You know what? Minnesota's in a weird position, man. They've
they
always
have-
been. The past 3 years, they've
You know,
been in a weird
Styles gonna
position.
play good this series.
Past like decade, I would say.
There's just
Since they signed Parise and Suter.
yeah, they've just been blah.
See, but
like-
the thing with Minnesota is that even
Blah.
though it's a hockey state, like that thing's a sports state. Like
It's the
football,
state of
everything,
hockey,
right?
You know what I mean, like that's what it's called.
That is also a free agent. Like you look at like people say Matt Zuccarello went there because Matt Zuccarello went there because they gave him money. They gave him that contract that no one else would have given.
I think
right?
American hockey players, that's their Toronto. That's where because
Yeah.
they call it the state of hockey, right?
Right. Yeah.
So
Even like you got Anaheim, San Jose, LA. Those guys, those teams like right now, like they're not good. Like they don't make playoffs. But
Yeah.
honestly, give them 3 years, they'll be back up there.
Oh, for sure.
It'll
Like-
be
like-
San Jose, LA, Anaheim back up there.
LA especially, they got a really nice prospect pool.
yeah,
They have insane in the second, the Quinton Byfield.
they're the
probably.
biggest winners this year because
Yeah.
they got a second overall pick, right? Is that
For no
Yeah.
reason.
For nothing.
For nothing.
And all their prospects just developed insane. They
Then
got
you have
a lot of stuff going on.
Kopitar to lead the way.
Yeah.
They'll be back. They'll be back. Okay. Arizona, Nashville won. Next one.
Arizona won.
Arizona won. Yeah, you're right. Arizona won.
Oh, whatever.
Do you guys watch?
Good for Taylor Hall.
Do you watch any guys of that?
I
I watched Taylor Hall.
Philip Forsberg is the best
No.
player in that series too. Take that in.
I didn't watch any of that stuff.
I watched Taylor Hall beat up Ryan Ellis or fight at Ryan Ellis.
That was funny. They used to be teammates.
Yeah.
That was tough on them, man. I don't know what's wrong with Nashville this year, man. I literally like Matt Duchene.
They hired the wrong
Kyle
coach.
Turris.
Yeah.
Look
John-
at the
John
trade for
Hines.
Ryan Johansson for such like yikes.
I remember at that time there was a Nugent Hopkins was supposed to get traded.
Yeah,
for
for
Seth
Seth
Jones,
Jones.
but then Nugent Hopkins got injured.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
I remember that.
I'd love
Shirelli
Nuge.
was gonna do that.
Shirley
Too.
was gonna do that.
Can you imagine he does that? Then Hall for Larson doesn't happen.
No, I think Hall for Larson already happened. Hall for Larson already happened.
No. This was like back in like this was in the. So that was at
Was
the trade deadline. They got
2014?
traded at the trade deadline of that year, right? So that's where those rumors came.
Yeah.
In that summer is when Hall for Larson happened. So after that,
I remember.
season.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Wow,
You're right.
can you imagine? I love me some Nuge.
We can't. You
straight
can't
up.
think. We can't think like that. It's
Keep
whatever.
Nuge
We
forever.
don't know all the details about it. I remember it was heavy. Nugent Hopkins.
Trade
for
news for
Jones.
Seth Jones to do it.
I mean, now I would.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nuge. I love you, honestly, but
I trade you for Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Johansson
All
makes
I would.
8.5 as well. I think Nashville would
Horrible
rather have
contract.
Nugent Hopkins.
So you had Kyle Turris, Matt Duchene, $8 million. Oh my god.
Nashville just really shot themselves in the
I don't
foot.
blame the GM straight up. Like these are
Like,
supposedly good players.
GM
but
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
The GM came out and like told Matt, like he said, like he asked Matt Duchene about his play. Asked Matt Duchene how bad his play is.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like Matt Duchene went from like Matt Duchene. Don't get me wrong. This is his like this season's so bad. Like I think the only worst season he had was his last year in Colorado when he got traded when he was on the ice.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he had insane seasons with Ottawa. Columbus, he played insane in the playoffs. Like I don't know.
Maybe
what
he's
happened.
cancer.
It could be the system as well. I think Matt Duchene's like he's a good dude. Like I don't see he's a cancer,
Yeah, he's
but
probably not cancer.
I don't know.
No, they hired the wrong coach. Why would you hire the Devils coach who coached
got
the last
fired?
place
Like,
team, bottom three
That
team?
blew
It's-
my mind. I
Oh,
couldn't
I
believe it.
don't know. It's because him and the GM are like
still
boys.
man. We'll go get Jared
Is it
Gallant or
Poyle?
something.
Yeah,
It's
David
David Poyle,
Poyle,
yeah.
and they're like from like their college days.
Like
or
Jared
something.
Gallant was free. You just go get this guy.
You're right. Wow.
And he was just fired.
He just fired from
Yeah.
Vegas, who's
Yeah.
a playoff team.
And you hired John Hines.
I don't get that either.
Even like
That's
Peter,
suspect.
like the Vegas hiring is a bit suspect, but it looks pretty good right now.
It looks good now, but
Yeah.
Vegas he was gifted a good team.
Yeah,
Pete DeBoer, like with the Sharks,
Sharks.
like he never adapted his strategies when he burst teams.
Yeah.
He keep playing the same way.
I remember like we talked about this before. Like when you fire a coach, even though if he's better than the one you hire,
Yeah,
the players,
Take something from
the
that
GM,
coach.
the way that the GM sees is like, okay, these players have already taken so much from this great coach, Gerard Gallant, for example. Let's bring in somebody who's completely different, Pete DeBoer,
Mhm.
and then like see what the players can learn from him as well. And
Yeah,
it
I
worked
think
out for
mine
him
is
because
still-
the players have like more complete game now.
I think minus the Leafs. I think the Leafs like forgot everything about Babcock. I think they just like switched totally different.
Babcock is weird.
But you see where he signed? He
I
signed with
forgot.
like an affiliate league or something to coach.
man, this whole year has because he won't get a job in the NHL for a while. This whole year has been so
He
weird
might
that I
coach Team
forgot about
Canada.
the
He-
Babcock thing was this year.
He doesn't need to. He got so much money from that.
Yeah,
Babcock.
straight up like
Yeah, but no, he'll be back coaching. Like man, like they give him a bad rap for what he did with Marner. Like what are you gonna do? Like Marner's
pretty
in his
messed up
rookie
of him.
year. Yeah, but still, man, like it.
He
But
should-
it was bad like morally like to do that like, that's a confidence killer, right?
yeah.
Would
But-
you take him as Tippett's assistant? in
Nope.
Edmonton?
No, I don't
No,
want
you
him.
wouldn't?
He's
I
not
don't
going
want
back
him.
consistent, but Babcock's
I know,
too.
I was just saying.
His
His ego
resume
is way
is
too high,
way
yeah.
too high. Team in Detroit was like, here's a gold,
Mhm.
gold like your players served on a silver platter.
He's a
but, like,
contending team.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Go win 3 cups. Or 2 cups only.
Okay, now to the biggest heartbreak of 2020 so far.
Chicago. Edmonton.
I don't even want to
Well,
think about it again.
Go, Jay. Go on your rant.
Look, the Edmonton Oilers are a fantastic team. They're a great team. They're so good that the only team that beat them this year was themselves. Because this year, game 1, I wanted to
Mike
melt my
Smith.
face off.
Mike
I wanted
Smith?
to melt. I saw Mike Smith wearing his goddamn Army Navy pads that were like, I couldn't understand it. And he lets in literally some of the worst goals I've seen in a long time. The defense, they played like plastic cartons of milk. That's what they played like. These guys were non-existent. The forwards were just kind of going for a little skate. Yeah, I'm just barely here. You know what I mean? You're playing in your own city. Now the Calgary goddamn Flames are playing in the playoffs in your arena. And no, let's just take it all easy. Take it easy. Don't worry about it. Just skate. Just, have a good time.
The Edmonton Oilers are the New York Knicks.
Connor McDavid was literally, he threw his heart out onto the ice. And these guys just watched him. Like, yeah, just let him do it. Let him do it. I don't know what it was. I didn't see the pep in their step. When I saw the Oilers that played this year, like the 2019-2020 Oilers, was the last period of
Right, I was going to say.
game 4.
The last 10 minutes of the last game that they lost.
They were all over them.
That was the team we've been watching all season.
Yeah, I know. And that's a team that if we had that team from the start, from the jump, we win the series. It's evident.
This is
But-
why it's bad to play against the same team.
I
in the
get that,
qualifying
like,
to get into
I-
playoffs, and it doesn't make sense. Like,
But like, how did Tippett not?
Hey, Dave Tippett. Hey, look at me. What are you doing taking Nuge, Dry, and Yams off
not
one line?
How do you not? He's not.
How do
watching
you
this.
know? How? He's 100%.
He's
I'm
not
gonna
watching
tag
this.
you. I'm gonna tag you like a
Yeah,
tag
take him because he has
Listen.
social media.
What are you doing? Why? And then you put him back with a minute left in the third period. Okay, 1 second. Let me talk about that last minute. We got a penalty. Okay, hooking. Whoever got it, I don't remember who got the penalty. I think
No. The last minute penalty was a too many men.
Too many
on the
men.
ice.
Okay, yeah, Koskinen, like, and then you saw Dave Tippett's frustration. Anyways, you got that too many men penalty, which penalty shot you in the foot the whole series. By the way, those refs in game
Yeah, the game
3
two refs were just
or
something
what?
else.
Who are you? Anyways, they did that. Darnell Nurse with 50 seconds left. The game's on the line. You're down by 1. Ices the puck. Ice the puck, and you have the puck. What are you doing? And like he made some good plays in the previous games and everything, but like, what are you doing? Like, Draisaitl, like, put it this way: game 1, we lost. McDavid scored a hat trick. Didn't he score game 1 hat trick?
No, game 2. He scored a
Okay.
hat trick.
He scored
Game
game
1.
1.
He scored like in the first minute or something like that. He scored
Game
like that
2,
one
he
goal.
scored a hat trick. We won. Game 3, Draisaitl scored 2 goals. We lost. Game 4, and McDavid scored a goal in game 3, I think.
Buddy,
as well.
like the Oilers.
Like, it's literally like
McDavid showed up.
It's
Yeah.
so hard. It's so hard when people approach us and be like, "Yeah, you guys have McDavid, Draisaitl, that's your team." Why aren't they right? Like, why? Like, you can't defend it anymore. Like, it's literally like, if you look at the box score,
No,
it
you're
was
right.
literally McDavid, Nuge, Dry. McDavid, Nuge, Dry. Literally, like, if it was McDavid scoring, Dry assist, and they don't even play on the same line together. That's what I was saying. Like,
So you're
in that
saying-
third line, in that third period,
Yeah.
you guys, they went into that third period down.
3-2. Yeah, it was down by 1 goal.
They went down. You put your 2 best players on the same line, just like the Pittsburgh Penguins will put Gensel, Malkin, and Crosby on the same line if they need to. You don't put them on, and then the last minute when you pull your goalie and it's 5-on-5, and you have Chris Russell on the ice, you don't have Leon Draisaitl on the ice. What do you do? I don't care if Leon Draisaitl just killed the penalty. Like, what are you doing? You put your best players on the ice. You don't need 3 defensemen on the ice. Like, it's just, the whole thing was just like, their players, like, the fans were more pumped than the players. You know, like, you know
we
what I'm
were
saying?
into it. We were into it.
Like, we were like
this
you know,
whole
the
city
first
was
game.
the city was buzzing.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean?
This is what happened. That game against Calgary, they showed up. They were intense. They were aggressive. They were.
But it
ready to
doesn't
play.
matter. Like, just like McDavid said, you can't
no.
verse Calgary every time.
Right. And then the game 1 Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago had better intensity. They were more aggressive. They
Bro,
wanted it
game
more.
1 Chicago, they looked like the 2015 Blackhawks.
Kirby
They-
Dach,
no,
man.
and the
Kirby
Oilers,
Dach
the
is-
Oilers just couldn't match that same intensity.
couldn't, no.
over the same because
But
it's
like,
the same team. Over like, Chicago
Koskinen,
knows what they're doing.
sorry, like Koskinen, like anyone who says that Koskinen played bad, like he didn't. He played insane. He was probably like, after our forwards, our best player.
I
literally.
would agree with you.
You know what I'm
'Cause
saying?
our-
But Mike Smith shouldn't have, like, no offense to Mike Smith, he played really good throughout the season. He shouldn't have started game 1. Like, Koskinen's coming in. He played good in the qualifying rounds. He played good. He played better than Mike Smith in the regular season. What are you doing? Like, maybe it's like Ozzy mentioned from before. It's that connection between Mike Smith and Dave Tippett in Arizona, but that shouldn't get in your way of game plan. You know what I'm saying?
My
It
thing
shouldn't get in
is
your way.
like, okay, there was a few people who on the Oilers who I actually like. James Neal, like
Anthony
the
Seal played.
Neal, Archibald. I know the Neal, Kyra, and was it Haas?
Chase on.
Chase on that line. I actually like that line.
They're a fourth line,
They,
they're not
they were an effective third, fourth line.
Yeah.
Okay, but like everybody else, man.
Like Anthony Seal played K. Game 1, I don't know what he was doing. Game 3, sorry, he didn't get on the score sheet, but he was everywhere. Like he was
Bro.
getting chances, he was flying.
And then
But you need to put him with like, it's just that whole the from the breaking up the dry yams and Nuge line. Like even when like the training camp started and they took it off, and I was wondering, I'm like, why are you putting Nuge with Connor? Like he already has connect. Like don't get me wrong, like
Connor doesn't need much.
he doesn't
That's the
need
thing.
much. Like even though you should give him, he doesn't need much. But Dry with Nuge and Yams, like perfect size, perfect balance. Like you have a big boy, you have a like below below size, and then you have Nuge whose shot is very like it's really good. Like but it's just like that line was the best line in hockey in the second half of the season. Like why break it up?
You got to give Chicago credit.
Yeah,
though.
you do. Chicago played. They
Actually,
played.
to your point there, like Nugent Hopkins and McDavid, they were like killing it.
They were
still.
killing
They
it,
were,
but
yeah.
still
So it kinda really didn't
you
matter.
handicapped the second line.
I know, but it kind of really didn't matter that way.
But here's the thing, Ozzy. We had a 1-2 punch in the regular season.
That's from okay.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean, that second line was
I'm not saying
crazy.
it was a good. I'm not saying
You
it
know
was a
what I
good
mean?
move, but like
But what I'm saying to you is like I felt like Tippett was outcoached heavily. Chicago
It was
a young
Duncan
guy,
Keith.
a young German.
he
Duncan
wasn't
Keith.
he wasn't
Wait,
out coach. Corey Crawford came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Kirby Doc.
Duncan Keith,
Duncan Keith
second
played,
best player of that
played
series.
insane, man.
You know Patrick
Behind
did Patrick
McDavid.
Kane score a goal in that series?
No, he didn't.
That's what I'm saying. Patrick
He
Kane
did. No, he did. He did.
Did he?
I think he
Are
scored
you
two,
sure?
one or two. Yeah, remember the behind the net and then in front, and he scored.
Wasn't
All
that
I'm saying
Brandon-
is that
Brandon
it's
Saad
just,
played
it's
good
just
too.
mind blowing how Chicago. Well, I mean, it makes sense though. Chicago wanted them more because they weren't supposed to be there, so they were gonna play
They had nothing to lose.
exactly.
They were younger, faster, more aggressive,
And
more intense.
The Oilers,
So
like I
much
said,
pressure on Edmonton because they got to win in their own city because they're the higher
Mhm.
seed. People only like 3 players showed up. Duncan Keith played out of his mind. If you look at the advanced stats, which I don't really do, but it was just on Twitter, I saw it
Mhm.
or whatever. Edmonton was actually very unlucky. Like,
Yeah.
they outplayed Chicago really. Like
I
Oh,
felt
we're
like we had the
outshooting
puck
them.
more.
No, no,
We're
no.
outshooting them.
they were outplaying them. Like according to those stats, like
Yeah,
Chicago won 3 out of 4. Based on those stats, it should have been Edmonton who won 3 out of 4.
Okay, you know what's so crazy?
But you can't look at that. You got to give Chicago credit there. It's just
I don't-
you know what? Chicago though, like,
unnecessary.
Chicago, every single opportunity, every mistake the Oilers made,
Yeah.
which our defense makes a lot, Chicago was right there
Okay, you
on
know
the
what's
ball
so
every
crazy?
single time.
I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like the Oilers would have puck possession for 5 minutes straight,
Yeah.
and then the one chance that Chicago would get, it would just be like a dump in, and then it would deflect off the boards. You'd shoot, you'd score. But Oilers would have like in 5 minutes, you have like 4 high chances.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Even like in the last game, Double A had empty net, and he just like it missed. And here's the thing, Holland.
Extremely unlucky. Our defensemen who were good during the season were not good during
Yeah.
this
See, I want to
series,
see. I want to
you
see
know.
this energy from Leaf fans. I want to see this energy. Like I want to see you guys. Like you guys just talk about. Oh, they're gonna make the cup.
Chicago's gonna get exposed by Vegas like they already
Yeah,
did
the
yesterday.
4-1.
4-1. Vegas is a proper team.
No, that's
team.
Shout out
here's the
Robin
thing,
Leonard.
They
just-
don't. They don't fall for Chicago's dumb tricks. Like that's such an inconsistent team.
Yeah.
I don't like Chicago.
Like-
Robin Leonard, man.
They shouldn't have been there. Montreal shouldn't have been there. The 22 and 21 should have been there either. Should have just been 20 teams in this play and qualifying round. They should have just played each other and then did.
That is
did
what it is.
season
It
by season.
happened. It
I'm just
happened. Everyone voted
heartbroken.
on it.
And then for Holland to come out and say that he would trade.
Nobody said
Double
that.
A. No, Holland said that. Holland said
double
that.
A.
He had a relationship with him in Detroit, and
Yeah.
he didn't meet Holland's expectations
No, you know
this
what he
year.
said?
But
He's
he
like,
played on the third and fourth line the
But
whole
he- No,
year.
no.
I don't understand how he's not with McDavid.
you know what he said? He's like he needs to reassess where his abilities are at because
Yeah.
like he was in line because he was in
He
line
has
to
the
make like
speed,
3
man.
million or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think what's gonna happen is he's gonna get a 1 year, 2 mil or something.
I hope that happens.
Well,
And then
probably
he
will.
proves
He's an
himself.
RFA. Like I'd rather still have Athanasiou on our team.
You gave
I
two,
still think
like,
it's a good
You
trade.
gave 2
Yeah.
second rounds for him, man. Two
I don't
second rounds
know.
aren't
And
cheap.
then like
Yeah, that's
the Mike Green trade
looks
was
bad
just
now, but
Mike Green. I'd rather have Sam Gagne at this point.
I think they'll bring him
You know
back.
what I mean? Mike Green.
Oh, Sam Gagne.
I think they will too. I can
it
see
is what it is. Chicago outplayed Oilers, but they were very
Yeah.
unlucky.
Mhm.
And,
You gotta give it to Chicago, man. They played.
Chicago's not a playoff team.
They came to play.
At the end of the
Montreal's
day,
not a playoff
at
team.
the end of the day, look like there's still worse situations. Like you have Toronto, man. Like that, the talent, like that should be no excuse.
No, I think
Toronto,
we have a worse
Pittsburgh.
situation, honestly.
No, because we
Bro,
have the best player in
Columbus-
the league,
Uh-huh.
but I still think like Toronto is like you are like you're paying you like Columbus's 11 forwards are $34 million, and Toronto's first line of the 3 forwards are 33.
Yeah,
Like
that's
there
still-
should
You
be
gotta
no,
you gotta give Chicago credit still. Kane, Taves, Keith. These guys like
Taves,
played
like,
good.
okay,
Crawford,
my
too.
friend who I'm not gonna name.
These are good players that showed
He'll
up.
embarrass me if I bring his name up. He told me he brought up before the series started that Taves is gonna have a big impact. If it's not on the score sheet, he's gonna be off the face-off circle. And I underestimated the face-off circle. But if you look at most of Chicago's goals, Taves wins that face-off at that goal every time.
Bro,
He played
Taze-
really good.
we played the 2015 Blackhawks. Honestly, that's what it felt like. when
There
we
was that
played
one
them.
game where they got 2 or 3 deflection goals. Like,
Yeah,
come
that too.
on, It's very unlucky, and,
And even,
because it's
like-
a best of 5, every game mattered.
And then Mike Smith with his elite puck handling skills that first game, and just
We're talking
it's
about
too
it
much. It's too much.
Let's move
We're
on.
not Oilers fans. We're NHL fans. Remember that.
We got to talk about the first round. Our predictions here.
Yeah. No, we're talking about the draft right now. Actually.
Oh, that's right. In the
yeah.
draft
Just really
lottery.
quickly about the draft.
Draft lottery.
Rangers take the first overall pick. So
Whatever.
Lafreniere is going to the Big
Toronto.
Apple.
He's not a defenseman.
Toronto almost got that. Hey? Yeah, I hate that.
He's not a defenseman. That's what they need, a defenseman.
I actually saw an interesting take. It was like,
That's good for the league. They need New York to be good.
yeah.
Or for
And
money.
honestly, they're far away from the West,
They're a good team. Their rebuild's almost done. They just
Yeah.
need to fix up that defense.
and that's how you rebuild a team.
In 2 years.
Wouldn't it be crazy to see like Pittsburgh win it though,
Oh my god.
Toronto almost got it. Hey?
or Edmonton,
Yeah, Toronto almost got it.
Toronto,
that
if you look at the
bounce.
ball, the bounce.
Minnesota.
or Winnipeg,
Oh,
Minnesota.
if Winnipeg, Toronto, or Pittsburgh won it, the whole world explodes up.
because pretty much you look at it now, like New York got Lafreniere and Panarin for free.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's a little bit suspect. Could be rigged.
I don't
Panarin
know,
maybe
this,
not.
This is the
but-
way you rig that one. Can you confirm that this is the New York Rangers logo? Like,
They dropped the ball and it was like heavier than the other ones.
Yeah, you saw that?
And then when
oh
you
my
look-
god, did that actually happen?
No,
Yeah,
it wasn't heavier, bro.
he dropped
It
when
just
he
dropped.
when he he went to go show the New York Rangers ball.
Uh-huh.
He dropped it before Barry. could
Yeah,
get it.
Gary Bettman
So-
has to confirm the
So he
logo.
picked it back up.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
picked it back up just to show it. And then if you look at the lottery, like there's a couple balls that like went in and out of the thing.
Yeah, I saw
Minnesota
that.
and Toronto.
Yeah, I guess you can't rig it, but it's just funny.
Edmonton was all the way on the bottom.
2 elite franchise wingers potentially.
I think
free.
if Edmonton or Pittsburgh got it, people would have lost their mind.
Oh, yeah,
Of
World War
course.
III, man. World War
course.
III.
They would have lost it, which rightfully so. Even if Toronto got it, they would have lost their mind.
Bro, can you imagine you would have just got it?
Like, it would be so embarrassing.
I would be
I would have been.
so happy.
Me too, but I'd just be like, come on.
Come on, like how many picks, man?
I don't care. I don't care.
Can I
No,
go,
the league wants to do this dumbass qualifying round
Can
or
I-
whatever.
can I go on a
This is what they get.
little slide thing right now?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just want to say, I really feel for the Buffalo Sabres fans
Oh my god.
out there.
What happened?
No, I was thinking about this. Okay, just like haram, man.
Do you see the
like,
new
just give
jerseys?
him a break. You know what I mean? Like,
Did they hire a new GM yet?
No.
Yeah, they did. They got
did
him. Hey, the new GM came in. He looked at the guys like, I don't know who you are, but you're fired.
yeah,
That's
he,
what they
oh yeah,
did.
is that what he was? He fired everybody.
Everyone. Even
Oh,
their
yeah, he did.
even
Yeah,
their
yeah,
farm.
yeah.
Even
Yeah,
their
yeah,
farm.
All I'm saying,
That's
like,
good though.
Like,
Yeah, they definitely need to clean up.
I like Jack Eichel, great player.
Fantastic player.
I
Yeah,
love
I mean-
Rasmus Dahlin.
Okay,
Jack Eichel's better
And-
than Austin Matthews in my opinion.
he is, and the guy, it's not even close. But
Whoa.
it's not. Oh my
Get
god,
outta
I'm
here.
not. Are you crazy?
What?
Are you crazy? Are you crazy? You
Who's
think Austin Matthews?
Who's a better goal
is-
scorer?
Oh my
You think
god.
Austin Matthews better than Jack Eichel?
Yes, who's a better goal scorer?
It doesn't matter about goal scoring. It's talking about
I'm-
a
but
franchise.
I'm asking,
sentiment.
I'm asking.
Who would you build a team around?
Who's
Austin
a-
Matthews or Jack
Austin
Eichel?
Matthews.
Who's a better
Oh
skater?
my god.
Austin Matthews.
Oh my goodness.
No, he's
Oh
not.
my
Okay,
god.
Jack Eichel.
Who's a
Two-way. It's Austin Matthews. Don't even argue with me.
Who's a better playmaker?
Eichel.
Are you on glue?
Eichel. I'm telling you, Austin Matthews is a goal scorer, bro.
Who has more goals since Matthews was in the league?
I'm pretty sure Matthews.
I'm pretty sure it's Ike, the bike.
I'm pretty sure it's Matthews. Pull that up. I'm pretty
All
sure.
I'm saying
I
to you
will
is,
pull that
I
up.
would.
I'm
pretty sure it's
Bro,
Matthews.
Austin Matthews has been playing with literally nobody's.
You mean Michael's?
Or sorry, Eichel. Austin Matthews is playing
Doesn't
with.
matter. Should in hockey when
Oh.
you're by yourself, like look at McDavid, bro.
How are we gonna have this fight on every podcast so far?
Austin Matthews is better than Jack Eichel.
He's not.
Yeah, he is.
Anyways, Jack Eichel, I feel sorry for you. I'm here for you.
You're a you're a Maserati in a townhouse, man.
You're literally. That's that's exactly what it is. He's a Maserati in like a trailer park. That's literally what it is, man.
Look at this guy
He's
counting.
counting.
113 for Jack Eichel.
Okay.
Okay.
Austin Matthews did that. 50
That's
this year.
since 16, 17.
Okay, you already lost.
Okay.
No, so that's when Matthews came in. Oh, and I spelled it wrong.
Just dead space in the air right now.
We'll cut it out.
Will we?
I don't know. 40, 40 plus 34.
74 plus 50.
Plus 47.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not good at math. All I'm saying is I'd rather
Okay,
have Jack
but
Eichel over
Eichel
Austin
missed more
Matthews,
games.
man.
Like what? No, he never. Austin Matthews missed literally how many games with a shoulder?
Like 12.
No, way more.
All I'm saying is why are you bringing
Okay,
him
go
up?
ahead.
Why are you bringing
Matthews-
him up
You
right
guys
now,
brought him
man?
up.
Matthews
You brought him up.
Matthews is on a
He
better
said-
team. Matthews is on a better
No,
Doesn't
way
team.
matter.
better
I don't
team.
care.
He's
Who
always had
cares
better
about
support.
I don't care.
Eichel is
Okay, Eichel's better than McDavid. He's on a better team.
What are you saying, man?
You guys are saying
Moving
McDavid.
on, moving on.
Okay, anyways, I'm sorry, Buffalo.
Wallah, Austin, bro. No, don't argue with that with me.
Why are you talking fishy?
Go ahead.
Leave it alone. It's just weird. Do you have a tattoo? A 34 tattoo with a heart around it? What's wrong with you? Look,
It's a
I'm
leaf.
just-
It's a leaf, not a heart.
It's a leaf,
whatever.
bro.
Leaf, yeah, leaf. And he has John Tavares' pajama boy tattoo on his back.
what
The
to
whole
say.
thing. It's a realistic portrait of John Tavares' pajama boy. Like freaking weirdo. Anyways, all I'm saying is I feel sorry for Buffalo. And this guy, how about the Toronto Maple Leafs? How are you not a
He
Leafs
brought up
fan?
Austin Matthews.
How are you not a Leafs
He
fan?
brought up Austin Matthews.
Did you bring him up?
I said Jack Eichel's better than Austin
See?
Matthews.
He
I
is.
didn't-
He's right though.
No, he's not.
He's right.
No.
Oh my God.
Austin Matthews is the best American player in the National Hockey League. Move
Patrick Kane isn't.
on.
so Austin
no, I'd
Matthews
rather
is
have.
not-
I'd still rather have Austin Matthews right now. What?
You're wrecking the whole
Buffalo
show. You
figure
wrecked
it
the
out.
whole
Buffalo
show.
figure it out.
You wrecked the whole show.
I'm gonna pull up.
I'm gonna
since Max Kellerman's over here.
Let's,
Wanna
no,
bring
no,
up
we're
numbers.
talking
Okay, now let's talk about Columbus Blue
Yeah,
Jackets
let's
who
talk about the
beat
first round.
Toronto.
No, 1 second.
Josh Anderson greater than Austin Matthews. So Columbus versus Toronto.
They lost game one, thriller.
What, 5 overtimes?
Quintuple OT.
Austin Matthews had 80 points this year.
Why are you still talking
Jack
about
Eichel had
Austin
78.
Matthews?
How many games did Matthews play?
Welcome to the Austin Matthews podcast with Fishy. Like,
70,
How many did Eichel play?
68. So par, but I'd still rather have Matthews. His shot's better.
oh my God.
Hey, what? What?
His shot could be better.
So Austin Matthews he's not a National Hockey League player then, hey? He's not a
Fishy,
player.
I'm just saying Eichel's better than him.
No, he's not. Anyways,
Leave
that's
it,
your
close.
that's your it's
Leave it.
debatable. It's
Leave it.
debatable.
It really isn't.
you put Eichel on You swap the two players on their teams.
Matthews leaves
Yeah, look at it like
Arizona.
that. You put Eichel on Toronto.
Matthews is leaving
and you
to
put
Arizona.
Matthews on Buffalo. I think Eichel outproduces Matthews
Sure.
way more than Matthews is right now.
Anyways, yeah,
Okay,
go on.
anyways.
You were talking about
Tampa Bay wins game one. In
And a thriller.
Quintuple OT.
Like,
I think they take that series. 5 games.
I have him in
Tampa
5
Bay.
or 6.
Man.
I have them
you-
winning the cup too, no?
Yeah, me too.
I get that too. I think Columbus goes the distance.
I don't know.
No, I don't think so. Not this time.
I just feel bad about how the game ended. He hits Gavrikov
no,
in the
these,
face.
these players, the Blake Colemans,
Yeah.
the Barkley Goodrows,
That's what makes the difference.
the Zach Bogosian, these players that Tampa Bay never had that they got this past year.
And
They're
Hedman
gonna-
on a
they're
bad
gonna-
ankle played almost
they're gonna beat
57
Columbus.
minutes.
They don't even have Stamkos yet.
The thing about I don't know, like it was a great game. Seth Jones, what a
Long
broke the
beast!
record.
What a beast!
65 minutes and 6
Wow.
seconds.
And then Corpusalo too, like breaking records. Like how many records were broken?
A lot
Like
of
3,
records.
4. That
I
day?
think it was the 4th longest game.
Yeah, 4th longest game. Seth Jones the longest time on the ice.
Yeah, broke your record. Corpusalo,
Corpusalo
85
most
saves.
saves, most saves in a game.
Yeah.
Nuts, craziness.
I have
That's
Tampa.
gonna be a good series to watch.
It's gonna be a fun series. It's gonna be like Tampa's defense is not to play with. Columbus' defense is definitely not to play with. But offensively, Tampa's
I just feel like on paper, Tampa Bay's better in
and
every
on
category.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe not goaltending, which is weird to say.
I don't know, man. Columbus might upset.
It's weird to say, but maybe not.
Probably. Yeah,
You know what,
'cause
like-
the
like,
hot hand.
I don't think Tampa Bay's gonna mess around that game.
Coaching's gonna be fun.
You guys both picked Tampa Bay on that?
I have Tampa. I have Tampa winning the cup.
I'm
man.
gonna go Columbus.
I have Tampa winning the cup.
I had Tampa win the cup too, but I honestly I'm going Columbus.
Just because you said that, now they're gonna win.
I don't know.
Anyways.
Every time you pick Columbus, they win.
So that's that series. Tampa Bay as of right now, they're up by 1.
Up
So
by
we'll see
one,
where that
yeah.
goes from. Hopefully the next game doesn't go to 6. Do you guys? There was complaints about it saying like,
no.
they should go to a shootout or something like that.
No,
Are you,
none of
are
that.
you crazy?
That's
Are
why
you
I
nuts?
hate the World Juniors. Every time Team Canada versus Team USA, they always lose in a shootout or something. It doesn't show a team's skill.
No, it
That
doesn't.
just comes to individual.
They've been doing this for like since the beginning of.
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
Shouldn't change it up.
No,
now.
I agree with you.
It
Like,
is
this-
what it is.
Ridiculous for people to complain. I can't believe it's older guys that are complaining
It's
about
just funny
it too.
because like this whole bubble situation, the Carolina Boston game
Yeah,
God,
got postponed to the morning.
yeah.
Nice.
So
So
it's just
funny.
nuts. Like, honestly, it's crazy.
So yeah, Carolina Boston now.
Carolina
Boston,
Boston.
won the first.
high
I
flying
have Boston.
series.
I have
That's a
Boston.
That's gonna be a fun series to watch.
Oh yeah.
That first game was like I watched the highlights. It was good.
The thing is with me is I have Boston for the reason being that they did so bad in the in like the
Yeah.
pre games is that like they can't do that bad anymore. They lost 3 in a row.
Like I
It's
think
almost-
think about that. Imagine Boston goes into one of these qualifying rounds, loses their 3 games like they did in the reseeding, and they're out. You just kicked out your best team.
the
in
thing
the
is, they're
because of the
President's
qualifying
trophies though.
round. Just keep going back to that qualifying round. thing.
President Trophy winners though.
The more you think about it, the more unnecessary it was to do it that way.
Yeah.
But no, it's hard not to pick Boston in that series.
Try not to pick Carolina either.
But
man.
that could go to 6, maybe
You
7
never know.
games.
You never
Yeah.
know.
I
I have
I
it
love
6.
Carolina.
I have
man.
Boston in 6. I just think the goaltending is what the difference is.
Yeah, I can honestly see. I see Boston coming out of that one just because they're so strong.
It's hard not to pick Boston. They probably
Hard nosed.
But Carolina though, they're just something else.
Defensively, oh my god.
they're a
Even
good team.
forwards, man.
Team
Like
of the
they're,
future.
I don't know. They're
They'll
just-
only get better. They're only gonna get better.
Yeah, they're just a great team. Honestly.
Maybe they trade for Georgiev. I don't know.
could happen.
Yeah.
No, that's all they need. That's
Yeah,
the only
they're
piece they're
complete.
missing. Really, is a goalie.
They should trade for Koskinen, I think.
That'd be nice. Or Mike Smith.
Was it Montreal?
Montreal,
Philadelphia?
Philly.
So you guys made fun of me.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
I knew
Made
it was
fun
gonna
of me
come.
about Philly. This guy, they're not gonna win a game.
They're supposed to play Pittsburgh right now. They're supposed to play
Listen, can I
Pittsburgh right
talk?
now.
Okay. And you guys, Sean Couturier is better than Claude Giroux. Claude Giroux, literally, his face-offs. Did you see what he did with the face-offs?
Sean Couturier had more points
On his
than Claude Giroux.
offhand. On his offhand. Take that in. That's how he won the face. And he
What do you
scored a
mean
goal.
offhand? What do you mean?
Like, he came. So he got, I think it was Couturier got kicked out of the circle. Couturier came in. He's not he usually takes like his blades, he's a lefty, right? Or he's a righty. He took it on his left hand. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, what is this guy doing? Anyways, I have
How
Philly
come,
going.
how
is
come
this
when
guy
we
doing?
talk about players,
What is this guy doing?
how come when we talk about players,
Yeah.
you say, okay, I say player A is better than player B,
Yeah, he is.
and then you go to player B, you say, hey, player B in
No,
this
no,
one
no, no.
game,
You
he
say-
didn't play. He
You
didn't
say
play.
player A is better than player B. He's like player D is better. Than
Yeah, like,
That's what he does.
Claude Giroux's.
Sean Couturier is better than Drew
Oh
this year.
my god, no, he's
this
not.
year.
Was that all-around player?
This year he was better.
I don't think so.
Whatever. Philly's supposed to play Pittsburgh.
I just think
they
that-
weren't going to beat Pittsburgh, by the way. Pittsburgh has them in the bag every year. But now they play
Well,
against
what
Montreal.
do you mean?
They
Here's the
won,
thing.
they won game one. They're going to
They
beat
have.
Montreal.
What do you mean? Pittsburgh got swept by the Islanders. What does that
Can
make
I-
you? What does it
The
Can
mean?
I-
Flyers are going to get exposed when they play Boston or Tampa Bay.
Can
That's
I-
all I'm going to
I
say.
have Philly in the conference finals. Take
You're
that in.
wild.
Can I say something? Can I go on a rant here? Philadelphia. I'm sorry. I agreed with my friend Ozzy. I said that you guys wouldn't win a game in the qualifying round.
This is
I
to
was
you,
wrong.
Ali. This is to you.
I was wrong. It's not Dottie for hot. It's not for you, buddy. I was wrong. Philadelphia is a good team.
Very well coached.
Philadelphia, they showed up for sure.
They did.
But they're getting kind of lucky now, and they're going to get exposed by
They're
Boston or
getting
Tampa.
lucky now.
Simple as that. Do
They-
you think they beat Boston or Tampa?
Yeah. Not Tampa. I think they'll give Boston a run for their money though.
It's so hard to say.
Carter
And then,
Hart.
I'm just saying off of
Good for Carter Hart, straight up.
yeah.
Carter
What is he?
Hart.
He's 20 years old.
Sherwood Park boy. Why not?
Wow.
Honestly, I think
20-year-old goalie.
Philadelphia takes out Montreal. Right.
They did win today. They won.
They
today.
won. They're already
2-1.
up. They're already up 1-0 in the series. 1-0.
I think I don't know. For me, I think it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Montreal
Watch now. Montreal's gonna
Montreal's
win the
gonna
cup now. Right. That's how it works now.
Could you imagine?
Montreal does have good prospects. though.
Everything we say is the opposite.
Suzuki and Kotkaniemi are really good, man.
Yeah.
Petrie out of still really good.
Petrie
Weber,
just stolen from the Oilers.
Carey Price.
Could you like?
Yeah, but Petrie traded so
it would have
long
been a
ago.
better story if they won the lottery. for
It would've.
Lafreniere.
Buddy, Lafreniere,
French
Les
kid.
Franche, going to the Habs. Come on.
Putin.
It is what it is. Whatever.
You know what I mean? And then
Caps and Isles.
Caps
I
and Isles.
want to say Caps.
I have
but
Islanders.
Islanders probably win
I
that
have
for whatever
Islanders.
reason.
Like they
I'm
literally
I'm still gonna say Caps.
look at today. They were up 2-0,
Holby made a bad play.
and then here comes the defense. Here comes the four. Like TJ Oshie scored 2 beautiful power play goals, and then the defensive Islanders absolutely took off. Barry Trotz literally knows how to pick puck at the Capitals. Scored 4 straight goals. That's his team. Literally, that's how it's gonna be the whole series.
I honestly, that one,
I have Isles.
Maybe
It's
they
like-
switch the Samson off and he goes lights out.
I can see the Isles.
I'm gonna go Caps because experience.
I'm gonna say Isles. Just I don't know. Like they just happen, and then they're gonna be that one annoying team that's gonna
So
stick
annoying.
around.
So do you guys still think Washington's better than Philly?
Who?
You guys still think Washington's better than Philly?
In a
So,
7-game
in the West-
series, yeah. In a 7-game series. I hope they play each other. Caps.
Oh,
and Philly.
hopefully we will. Let's see. Anyways, move on before I lose my mind.
So the Western Conference.
Colorado wins.
Hey, can I just say that this year at least, the East is so much more interesting than the West. Like just like the stories that are there.
The East, interesting.
I think the teams are better though in the West. To be honest with
Like
you.
I'm just saying, like teams like to watch this year. It's been so much fun to watch the East play.
Yeah,
Like the Eastern Conference teams.
it's like that every year though.
Is it though?
West teams are just boring.
Like lately, I don't know. Like
You know why? Because they play later.
maybe I don't know. Like the West teams for me, it's just I
So-
watch the games and I'm like,
Every
Colorado's
year.
sweeping Arizona.
That's why you need a team like Edmonton to be in there. but, it's too late.
So we'll start with that.
Today-
We'll start and end with that series. So Colorado's sweeping Arizona.
today a crazy stat from the Avalanche and
31-10.
like with 13 minutes left in the game, the Avs were outshot them 31-10.
The
with
Avs
like
are here to
13
play.
minutes left. Buddy, the Avalanche are a joke.
I have him in
Who
the
said
cup
they were a
final.
joke?
No, I'm saying like
I have them in the conference final.
I have him in cup. You have Vegas beating them.
they'll
Yeah,
go
I
for
do
it.
have
They'll go
Vegas.
for it,
I have Vegas
honestly.
beating them.
But Arizona just holding on.
Nah,
Arizona will steal a couple of games. I think they will.
Not a couple.
I
have
think
him
they
in
will.
I have Colorado in 5.
I think Arizona could take 2
Do you think
games.
Taylor Hall leaves Arizona
Mhm.
if they
Yeah.
lose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they have to win 1 or 2 rounds for him to stay?
I
or
think even if
consider?
he wins the cup, he's leaving.
I honestly think Taylor Hall is gonna go. The money aside, he'll go somewhere that has.
See, I think
a
he
winning
lost a
culture.
lot of
Colorado.
value. He
Colorado,
lost,
he go to
maybe.
the team that beat him.
I think he lost a lot of value though. Like he's gonna get like 8.5.
Here's the thing, man. He's been traded so much that I think when a player gets traded that much,
It's like you lose your value.
exactly, you start losing value.
Do you think because of how the cap is, maybe he does like a Marian Hossa, 1 year with Detroit,
1 year.
one year.
I don't think
oh,
he'll
no,
risk
he
it.
did 1 year with Pittsburgh, one year $9 million. Then he went 1 year Detroit, 1 year $9 million.
Yeah, I can see it.
And then cashed out with Chicago.
And
I
what?
can see it.
Do you think Taylor Hall does it? 1 year, $10 million with Colorado or something?
I think Taylor Hall will win a cup.
No,
You don't think he will?
with Edmonton, yeah, he will.
The glory days.
Maybe he goes to Calgary.
He's coming home.
I,
from Calgary.
I hope so, man. I don't know.
Yeah, what was it? Arizona, Colorado. Colorado's.
Yes.
They'll go as far as Grubauer will take them, but the team in front
Colorado
of them is really
Vegas
good.
conference finals, man.
Grubauer just has to be average for them to go far, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. Okay. St. Louis and Vancouver.
That's a tough one. Right now, the score is actually 1-1 right now.
I don't know, man.
St. Louis. I'm going to go St. Louis.
I have St. Louis. It's tough. I still think St. Louis just because, not just because they won the cup last year, but like you're versing like compared to what St. Louis is, you're versing babies, right? Like in hockey
Honestly,
terms.
they are. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Vancouver's team is probably one of
They're
the
like
younger-
very
They're
similar
younger.
teams. If you look at their teams, very
Yeah.
similar, but like
Mhm.
I feel like the St. Louis has better defense.
better defense. I think the goaltending
And
goes
better
to St.
goaltending
St.
as
Louis
well.
too as
Yeah.
well.
See, goaltending I think is pretty almost par to be honest with you. Like Binnington wasn't that good this year. Like it wasn't insane.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Binnington
Markstrom
can
is
show
really
up
good
still.
this year.
I think it's the 1-2 punch of Bennington and Allen. I'd rather have them over Markstrom and Demko. Is
yeah,
Demko the backup?
Travis Demko.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a toss up. It's debatable, but I still think St. Louis.
Same thing with like Petrangelo. Do you think he leaves?
I think he leaves. I think he goes to the Rangers. Speaking of that,
Can you imagine?
Wow.
Wow.
a big market.
Rigged. That's rigged.
big player, big
That's
market,
rigged if he goes there.
and big defensemen have a knack to go to the Rangers. Any big.
I
I
never
free
actually
agent.
I
thought
don't
about
know.
that. That actually makes a lot of sense.
It does.
I think he'll stay. With St. Louis?
They don't have money. I feel.
They don't. They signed Braden Shen. They signed.
Justin. They traded for Justin Falk and then paid him 7.2.
Yeah, they
I
got
think-
Schwartz.
I honestly think they'll make it work.
I think they'll trade Tarasenko. I still think they'll trade Tarasenko.
Well, you might.
Oh,
No, they
no.
haven't been with him for a while, and they're still doing good.
No, they don't trade Tarasenko.
I
You don't think
they
so?
do.
He's a like business moneymaker. Russian sniper, 91.
I get that, but what I'm saying to you is that like,
No, you
don't
don't
you
trade
think that they can
Tarasenko.
afford to get rid of him?
They could.
When Tarasenko plays, is he not the best forward? on
He
his
is,
team?
yeah. But I'm saying like they're still managing without him, which is insane.
Then
Okay,
He
so,
he didn't
okay,
pay.
so why trade? What are you gonna trade him for?
Like, I don't know if you have to
You
make
get-
money.
yeah.
Like, okay, who would you rather have, Tarasenko or Petrangelo?
Both. I'd rather not have. I'd rather keep both and not.
You can't
sign
afford both.
Justin Falk.
You
know?
can't
The
keep
Justin
both.
Falk contract was so bad.
If like they keep Petrangelo, then I guess it makes sense. to
Take
keep
in
Falk,
Carolina
but,
had
like,
Justin Falk. Take that in.
Seems unnecessary. Why
Take
would
that in.
they do
Take
Justin Falk?
imagine they didn't trade Justin Falk.
They got a better player in Brady Shea.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. Brady Shea got from the Rangers.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. They replaced him.
Yeah, yeah.
Carolina's
It's
so good.
so
They're
good.
fun to watch.
Sammy Vatanen.
Sammy Van
Yeah,
and Brady
Sammy
Shea is like their fourth pairing.
They have like 8 top 4 defensemen.
Yeah.
It's not even funny.
No, they're nuts,
It's
man.
nuts.
Is that
Did they ever lose a trade? It was a trade that Carolina's lost.
Trocheck
in a
for
while.
Eric Hall was pretty even. That was good for both.
That was
teams.
good for both teams.
I was gonna
because-
say Jeff Skinner, but his past year was.
Yeah.
That was a good trade.
they dumped him.
No, they dumped him. They got
Yeah.
nothing for him.
Yeah.
But
Even
like,
Cam Ward, I think they traded him for like a. Or they signed
Cam
with
Ward was
Chicago.
he's just over. I think he got traded, but that was for Darling. Darling was involved with that.
Yeah. Well, thank God they got rid of Scott Darling too. He signed him to the deal, so. But yeah,
so
man.
I'm picking St. Louis.
I'll go St. Louis.
St. Louis is a safe option. I think I'll go with St. Louis. as well.
Vancouver's gonna win now. Unpredictable NHL.
Yeah.
What is Chicago? Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas.
Vegas is gonna sweep
I have
Chicago.
five. I have
Chicago's
them
not
five.
good enough.
I have him 5.
He's so mad.
I still
so
think
angry.
Vegas. Is
Chicago's
insane.
inconsistent, messy team, young coach. They shouldn't be there. I don't care how good Taves.
For me, it's just
Kane, Keith.
like Vegas is so heavy. Like Vegas will take it.
Robin Leonard's gonna knock out his own team. Great story.
You know what? I hope the Oilers sign Robert Leonard.
Yeah, I hope they pay him.
I really hope they do.
Or Brave.
Instead of Holtby. I'd rather have, I'd rather have Leonard and Koskinen than take Holtby on a huge contract.
I'd rather not sign. Like, if say for example, Leonard goes to free agency, say he resigns with the Knights, and Vegas gets rid of Fleury, and we only had Holtby left. I'd rather stay with Koskinen and Smith.
If Vegas goes far,
I don't want Holtby either. to be
if
honest.
Vegas goes far with Leonard, they'll re-sign him.
Yeah, they'll
You
get
think
rid
so?
of Fleury because Fleury's cap is pretty high.
Yeah, they don't
too.
gotta keep. They don't have to let him go.
Eh,
And Leonard even said he wants to cash out this year, so
He will.
yeah,
he's looking for like a 6x7 or 6x6.
He deserves
Great
him.
story. That's
Deserves
that's a
him, man.
great story. And then we'll go to our last matchup: Calgary versus Dallas.
Calgary won game
I have
one.
Dallas, man. I'm surprised he lost game one. Who scored for them? Dubas or
Dubé.
Dubé?
Dubé showed up for
Duba. Dubu.
Dub.
Luchas?
Dubé?
Lucic has points in 5 straight games, eh?
Of course he does. Shout out to Lucic, by the way. He checked out our Instagram story the other day.
Shout out Luch.
5 minutes before the game started. So shout out to Milan Lucic for being our singular fan. And
Yeah, you will look.
That has a check mark
yeah.
on his name.
He looked.
he checked out our story, so shout out to him.
I want to pick Dallas too.
I have Dallas.
I think
Calgary's already up.
Dallas
I think-
Calgary's
I
already
think-
up 1-0.
I think Calgary, as an unbiased fan, I think Calgary wins it. I think Calgary wins it.
I don't want to say it, but they probably will.
Sure.
No,
No,
Dallas,
man. Ben Bishop,
Yeah,
man.
come
What
on,
are you
Dallas
doing
is too
here?
good.
What are you
Dallas is
saying?
too
They
good.
played Khudobin first game, eh?
Maybe Ben
Yeah,
Bishop was
Bishop
hurt.
got hurt.
He got hurt in the.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah.
He's so fragile, but he's so good.
Yeah.
He's like 6'5".
I think it's if you're that tall, you just
His little pads reach the crossbar. It's crazy.
So you guys are seeing Dallas.
Dallas.
I'll go Calgary. Hopefully I jinx them.
Miro Heiskanen played insane.
Calgary's
Yeah.
gonna win now.
Calgary's gonna win now. Vegas Tampa is my final now.
I
picked Tampa Edmonton.
I have Colorado
Vegas.
Tampa. I have Colorado
Well,
Tampa winning.
We'll get to that the next round. All right. That's it for episode 3.
Yeah.
Or you,
No, I was gonna say like Edmonton's gonna go play Vegas anyway. I don't even think they could beat Vegas.
yeah, I don't think they would.
Yeah. No, bring that up now.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, like, what are you gonna do?
Whatever. I'm not over it.
Anyways,
Not
this
over
wraps
the
up episode 3. A lot of upsets in the qualifying rounds. A lot of shockers. A lot of injuries. But that's hockey for you. And yeah.
We'll be back with round 1 results, right? If the
Well,
timing-
next week, same time next week.
Yeah.
So we're back next week.
Yeah.
Depends on.
Round 1 will be finished. No, it won't be
No,
finished.
it depends if it goes 4 games. Maybe
Yeah.
a couple
even.
series will still be going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure there's.
Well,
gonna
we'll
be some
talk
news
about like the
stories.
Vegas Chicago series and like the Colorado Arizona series for sure.
Oh, so you're saying the sweeps, basically.
Yeah. 4 or 5 games max 5.
All right.
So
Well,
we'll see how it
that
goes.
wraps it up, guys.
All right, peace. I run New York.
No, you don't.
I get it. Ready, Ozzy?
Welcome to party.
Michael Porter Jr.
Wait, what's that line that everyone's talking about?
Welcome to
She
party.
my little baddie.
She my-
little
baddie.
She my little boo-tang.
boo-tang. Yo, you
Something
put that.
about
You
a
put that.
fatty.
You put this at the end of the podcast.
No.
Or put that at the intro. Put this at the intro and then start it.
Don't do any of
Trust
that.
me. Trust me.
Don't do any of that.
Trust me. Trust
I'm
me.
gonna do that.
Wallah, do it, and then hashtag Pop Smoke. Wallah. Wallah.
We'll get copyrighted. No,
No,
don't do that.
bro.
No, how? We're
copyrighted.
singing it,
We're
man.
singing it.
We're singing the song.
Oh, okay, fine.
Leave this all at the end. Just put it at the end. Like, finish the episode and then have this play at the end.
No, put it in the beginning.
No, the end.
Because no one's gonna watch the end, bro.
And it's funnier at the
But
end.
no one's gonna watch the end though.
Fishy. That's the point. Exactly.
Okay, let's go. Let's do it.